and being bounced off the bottom. That's a big shakeout. This is what happens to the Bulls when they got that exuberance. I can't even keep up with this TikTok. All right, we're in bear market. We told you people not to get involved in that. Whoa, look at that.
Good evening, stock traders, and welcome to Stock Traders Talk Radio here on a beautiful Tuesday night, March the 13th, 2012. I am your host, STT. Joining me on tonight's program, I have Stock Sumo.
Hey, good evening, STT. How's it going down there in Florida?
Fantastic, sir. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing excellent. Lovely.
That's good to hear. Also joining us on the program tonight is QT Cal.
Hello, STT.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
We got a little pain in the back.
Still? So I'm assuming you didn't get that massage then.
I did.
Oh, you did?
I accomplished that last night.
I
I told you that woman was crazy, giving me that dirty look.
I don't know. You may have to step up your game a little bit, but of course we'll talk about that later.
Okay. Appreciate the help.
No problem.
Also joining us on the program tonight is Mr. Cop.
What's going on, STT gang?
Not too much, sir. What's going on by you?
The regular stuff. Enjoying the stock trading and all the other fun stuff that comes along with that.
There's fun stuff that comes along with it?
Hell yes, especially when you're green.
I knew I was missing out on something. The frills, I assume I'm missing out on. I got to find out what that is. Maybe, don't tell the whole world. Tell me after the show what the frills are. Clue me in a little bit. Help me out, okay? I really appreciate that. Also joining us on the program tonight is Sifakia.
Aloha, STT.
Aloha, brah.
I give you a couple of tips on the thrills.
No. Private that later, please.
It was just going to be a quick tip, but...
All right, go ahead. Hit me early.
No, too late.
Too late?
Yep.
You sure?
Yep.
Come on.
Nah, it's going to cost you now, man.
Yeah.
Next time.
All right. I'll leave well enough alone with him. All righty. Tomorrow night on Stock Radio, we have an exclusive CEO interview for you. Unlike past shows, I am going to announce here tonight on the show. I will reiterate myself. Probably. Later in the show about this CEO interview. Tomorrow night's CEO interview is with ticker symbol TIVU.
That's tomorrow night?
TIVU. Tomorrow night.
Oh, nice.
Tomorrow night. Confirmed.
Nice.
So that will be on tomorrow night. It's been a very, it's one of the ones that we've been asked a lot about. And we actually got lucky on this. An investor actually got the CEO for us.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He reached out to the CEO, and because we had tried in the past and, without much luck, and he was able to get in there and talk to the CEO and tell him to come on the radio, and the CEO actually called me.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So that's one way to get a CEO interview, I guess.
I would agree.
Makes it a lot easier on us, that's for sure. So great job by him. Looking forward to that tomorrow night. All right, now on tonight's show, we got another stock spotlight for you. Last night's was a beauty. Does anybody care to recap last night's stock spotlight for me.
I just want to recap the trading activity today. I listened to the spotlight. Copy did an awesome job, but the activity today definitely spoke for itself. It had dipped down to a low of 40.5 cents. This is SLMU we're talking about. That's Salomon Group Inc., SLMU. It dipped down to like a low of 40.5 cents and then sprung back and hit a high of $1.10. Ended up closing out the day at 86 cents on a nice 2.6 million shares traded. Overall finish up 38.7%.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. Now, tonight's stock spotlight, once again, will be done by Mr. Kopp. Mr. Kopp, take it away, sir.
All right. Tonight's spotlight is going to be VPER Networks, VPER. That's Victor, Papa, Echo, Romeo. Big, huge day. 150,441,628 in volume today. Closed at 0.0041, up 78.26%. And actually could have closed higher than that if it wasn't for that last little bit of the end of day activity. Now, just so we kind of give you guys a little background, you guys know how I like to do this. LED company, and I'm real big in the LED companies, especially with all the initiatives that are happening worldwide for energy cost savings and all that other type of stuff. So I kind of want to go through a couple of things that's happening here. Now, if those of you that listen to me all the time know that I am a big money ball player, meaning I like stocks where money is flowing and then I jump to it. And this is one that's definitely has that. So let me go through a couple things here. Big thing that hit this thing off was you had the PR that was actually yesterday, which let me give you that, which is VPER Network to conclude due diligence on attractive LED acquisition candidate by month end. Merger would add millions in revenue and provide net profitability. VPER Networks, Inc., VPER, announces that the company expects to conclude their preliminary due diligence on U.S.-based profitable LED company that they have been in acquisition talks with, as announced on 1/30/12, by March 31st. Key date, write that one down. By March 31st. Going back through all the DD on this company, they're pretty good at meeting their deadlines, which I like that. As previously announced, the company has been proactive in their pursuit of well-positioned profitable LED industry acquisition candidates and has earnestly continued merger with two U.S.-based firms since early 2012, one of which specifically provides compelling synergy to VPER Networks' emerging business within the LED lighting sector. Shortly after the conclusion of the company's due diligence, VPER Networks will be releasing a closing date projection expected in mid-April. So you got another one. March 31st and then mid-April for closing of the projection, that they expect final negotiation terms and conditions to be consummated by. All right, so it goes through that whole thing, major alliance with LED, key agreements, big, huge things, another emergency alliance with Envirolight Corporation and the Power Disc TM product that extend the life to incandescent and halogen bulbs by up to 10 years. The company's reseller agreement has already led to VPER Networks' initial success, TBA, with targeting one mass merchant in North America for nationwide sales. Okay. Their website is VPERnetworks.com, VIPER networks.com. All right, so that's a little bit of the background. So LED, now this company's clearly in the acquisition stage with it. And, one thing that I recommend everyone listen to, Small Cap Voice, Stuart Scott, they did something not too long ago where they interviewed the CEO, which was Fareed Chakani, and where he discussed how he's on the acquisition path, looking for partners for LED America, the different things he's doing, and tied in with LED America. All right, so first thing we're going to do, we're going to jump to OTCmarkets.com, as we always like to do. All right, company information. This is going to be a little off here for this. Some of this still needs to be updated. Basic contact info: 189 East Big Beaver Road, Suite 201, Troy, Michigan. It's got the VPER Networks website, a couple phone numbers, IR, all that regular stuff. Okay, shares outstanding. This is something I want to key on. 1,059,812,000 as of October 14, 2011. The authorized shares were 1,500,000,000 as of October 14. All right, shareholders record 3/13, and the latest report that they had in here was on the front cover. Company information was January 5th, 2012 quarterly report. All right, so let's jump to the financials here real quick. All right, you jump to financials on otcmarkets.com, and let's see, here we are. Okay, supplemental information came out today. All right, I don't know if a lot of people know this. Now, the supplemental information that came out is an update to tell you what the share structure is. Okay, the common stock right now, there is 1,282,100 and what is that? 206,000 shares. So 1,282,206,000. Okay. Now the hitch is outstanding that's restricted is 283 billion or 283,242,000. So outstanding non-restricted is 1 billion shares and 51,000. Okay, that's common stock that's not restricted. All right, so that puts it in kind of line with what they're saying, but they definitely increased the share structure on the restricted side. All right, so they're not free trading or anything like that. Now, one thing, a key point to this was as of 1/19/12. So the filing happened today, talking about 1/19/12. Now, I don't know what's happened in between the end of January, February, and very beginning of March, but the bottom line, that's what they have. And they have preferred alpha and preferred Bravo stock, which really isn't a lot. I haven't checked the conversion rates, but know that that's out there. Now, when you go through the filings and you see what's going on, they're going to give you the quarterly report. The very first one was ending September 30th, 2011, which will give you the whole thing with how much cash they got. In assets, they have 2,550,000. I'm just going to estimate, and that's with working cash, other current assets, receivables net of allowance. Accounts receivable is 2.3 million. That's huge. Okay, it's a big number. Okay, and it's got a couple other small assets, and of course they have a lot of property equipment. I would assume that's going to be in stock in what they have. So total assets over 4 million. All right, you scroll down a little bit, then you're going to get the liabilities and stockholder equity deficit. Okay, accounts payable is $2 million, and then accrued liabilities $425,000, and accrued salaries. Now, this is a little tricky. Now, what I don't know is, and I'm going to use Fareed as an example. Okay, Fareed in salaries has $1,552,000 owed to him, which means he hasn't been taking salary. Now, if you go back in time, and I'm not going to do for every single one of these with you, but you had this filing. You had the filing that happened on June 30th, 2011, where his salary on that, and it's all disclosed. He disclosed. They're very, very transparent. He's saying, this is what I'm owed. This is what, for every single buddy that they have. Halab and Cat, Abdel, short-term debt, loans from related parties, loans due to shareholders. Really defined out here what he's actually saying. All right, so I'm going to take you all the way back till 2009. All right, 2009, Fareed was owed $751,000. Okay, December 31st, 2010, and these are in each of the filings. Right, I'm giving you the filing dates. He was owed $1,139,000. June 30th, he was owed $1,463,000 of 2011, and then in September 30th of 2011, owed $1,552,000. Now, you got two possible things here. That's a double increase from over that time of about $750,000 in the course of, let's go with 2.5 years, which we all know is probably a little higher than what normally you would actually expect. Now, but that could be a couple of things. That could be him loaning the company money as well to be able to get to these next stages as far as these acquisitions before they went there. I don't know the answer to that, but just looking at it, I mean, you're seeing a huge amount of increases that are actually happening with that, as well as on the one that's dated, all right, let me get back here, the September 30th, 2011 one, right, gives the balance sheet. You scroll down to the bottom of that, and it's also going to give you the liabilities, stockholder equity beyond that. Now the common stock, right, and the preferred stock, value, retained earnings, etc. Authorized common stock is 1,500,000 shares. Total common shares issued and outstanding at that time was 1,059,000,000. Okay, then preferred 10 million in the Series A, and preferred B was 10 million with another looks like a 900,000 right around there. Okay, so now we jump back. All right, stick with me here to the supplemental. So you're seeing changes here, which tells you a couple of things. Acquisition pieces look to be in play because they're not throwing the stock out there into the floaters, at least as far as from a sales standpoint. Now, I don't know if there's any debentures in the past. I haven't got that far on that to see what rolled over. But if you look at the financials on each piece of it, sales and cash are increasing as well as assets drastically over time, which is what everybody wants. Big, big, huge plus. So now let's jump over to the where we were before on this. And you got your interim financials. Oh, yeah, let me not forget this. They did a bunch of filings to get these things up to speed. December 14th, you have the interim financial report. November 7th, you have the supplemental information, again, of a promissory note. October 19th, more supplemental information. And October 19th actually had 3 filings, 2 annual reports, one for 2010 financials, one for 2009, and then you got the 2011s. So clearly this company was all about, all right, I need to get the company clean. That's what happened, okay, from a filing standpoint. So when you look at that, that's a big plus. Now I want to jump to next. I want to jump to Power Disc. Okay. Now you read the press release and you have an understanding what they're talking about with the press release. Where Power Disc is, just so you know, www.powerdisc.com. Okay, which is one of the relationships that they achieved through that press release. Okay. With Envirolight Corporation and their Power Disc product that can extend the life of incandescent and halogen bulbs by up to 10 years. So we jump to that, and I'm going to give you a little tidbit of what that is. All right, awesome site. All right, it goes into the home. It has about the Power Disc. It gives you all the different products in detail of all the things that's happening with it, pricing, how you can buy it, the different testimonials, and all of that stuff. All clear information and everything about the Power Disc. Now, LED piece is a big deal, as we know. You're getting the Power Disc converts AC to DC power. By converting DC power, this significantly reduces energy consumption and maintenance costs, as well as extends the bulb's life up to 100 times. 100 times. Walk around your house, see how many bulbs you got in your house, and do the math. Pretty simple. The beauty to this is they're not expensive. They're not, when you sit there and you look at the product, let me give you one of the Power Disc pricing of it. $2.95 each. Power Disc saves you money. It's environmentally safe and extends the life of your incandescent and halogen bulbs for 7 to 10 years. By converting electricity power to the bulb from AC to DC, Power Disc significantly reduces energy consumption up to 42%. 42%. That's ridiculous. And also extends the bulb's life up to 100 times, like we said before. The Power Disc is attached to the base of the light bulb by means of adhesive coating form, so that the center contact of the bulb is in contact with one end of the diode. When screwed into the light socket, the other end of the diode contacts the center contact with the light socket. So it's a little Power Disc that goes in between the light bulb and your actual contact. To achieve maximum life extension and warranty protection, the Power Disc must be used with a brand new halogen or incandescent light bulb. Also, if you are currently using a particular wattage light bulb, it is important to maintain a similar lumen level you should use with a higher wattage bulb. All right, and it goes through, it's all about Save the Earth and all those other type of things. And you got some heavy hitters that are actually involved with this. So I'm jumping over that About Us. All right, it gives you a mission statement and your company and the management. Lisa Landau, president and director, founded Envirolight Corp in 2011. Prior to this was her 10-year involvement with Oasis of Hope of Cancer Centers, Tijuana, Mexico, and Irvine, California. Her experience at Oasis Taught her how to destructive environmental pollutions, not only to the environment, but to the humans as a potential contributor to cancer. So you have a lot of environmental group history in the background here. Not to mention, Ms. Landau also attended Thomas Jefferson School of Law in San Diego, California, with emphasis in international trade. All right, so you bring in the players. Heather Atwell, Vice President, oversees company business operations, including foreign and domestic sales, marketing, business development, human resources, product development, and strategic partners. Prior to joining the Environlight team, Heather worked for Resort Properties of America, a leading resort and casino advisor brokerage in Las Vegas, most recently as the managing partner. Heather joined RPA in 2006 and served in a number of roles of the company, including vice president, executive assistant, and a commercial real estate agent, where she was instrumental in facilitating a $1.24 billion record-breaking sale of the Frontier Hotel Casino in Las Vegas Strip. Prior to the RPA, Heather worked as CEO and designer for Hannah Swimwear, where she developed a multi-million-dollar company from the ground up. Heather's success is attributed to her keen business sense, ability to extract important detail, and her innovative creativity. And you got a whole bunch of advisors, David Atwell, commercial client consultant, the whole 9 yards, and we're talking big, big money when you look at this, everything with their ties with MGM, all these casinos, a lot of different places that are just putting out wattage and lights. Now, I'm going to jump over to products, okay? Now, on the products, when you look at, you go to its products, and then you have testimonials. You got John F., right? So I'm just going to tell you how this one works. MGM Grand Hotel and Casino, Las Vegas. The MGM Grand Hotel has been using 2,200 power discs in their Porte Cochere area for the past 2 years. Substantial savings have been realized in energy, bulb replacement, and labor costs. We anticipate using the power disc throughout the hotel in the near future. We have been very pleased with the results. Okay, bottom line is the product is over time demonstrating to consumers in major companies, corporations, and those type of things, huge, ridiculous savings on electricity. All right? So now all the other companies that can utilize this service by being resellers or agreements for exclusivity rights in different countries and all that already have the proof in the pudding that the damn thing works. It's saving huge amount of money, and you're able to reap absolutely ridiculous profits. That's just a fact from this company and this deal. So when they come out with this press release and they're talking about the merger that they're looking for, tasked with two U.S.-based firms since 2012, you're talking some players are aligning within this piece of this company. Now, that's just a piece of it. Now, let me jump to the money ball. All right, I want to break you down, as you guys know big time about the money. Let's go with today, just a quick example. Hold on one second. All right, what I say we had in volume today? Something crazy, right? All right, so we're looking at closing price of 0.0041, 150 million shares sold today at a 78% increase. Okay, now let's go back in time. All right, I'm going to bring you back all the way to Dee Dee Amanda. She tells you everything you guys want to know. I know you guys don't. I keep telling you about Dee Dee Amanda. If you haven't gotten it, I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to take you to 1/30. Okay, January 30th. All right, you had 595 grand went into that stock that day. It traded 283 million shares. Right, in between a price of 0.0018 and 0.0024. And had an increase of 62%. The irony to it, the day before that, it had 34 grand and closed up 63%. All right? So money flow came into the stock after it was just up 60% the previous day. Okay? Very unusual. It's a little tricky when you sit there and you look at it. Now, on January 31st, the following trading day, you had 927 grand flow into that stock again. This time, 218 million shares in between 0.0021 and 0.0064. Another screaming day of 138%. You do the math here, all right? So volume's increasing or volume decreased. Dollars coming into the stock absolutely went bananas, almost $1 million. and it went up another 138%. Now here's the kicker. Following day, February 1st, $1.2 million came into that stock, and volume reduced because the price is going higher. 176,293,000. This time you got 0.0053 to 0.0084 and closes up another 30%. All right. Now the following day, when you start getting your cascading effect a little bit, right, that you're actually having off the peak that you had on the on your black candle that you're going to see there, your red candle, 754 grand. Next day, 163 grand. Next day, 114 grand. Next day, 74 grand. Next day, 104 grand. All right, so now I'm on February 8th. Now we're back down to the area of the 0.0024, 0.0033. So you had your scream up, you had your quick pullback, stock comes out of nowhere with volume, and then you're going to have your slow slide. Slow slide happens for a little while. If you know, basically looking at the chart, I'm sure you guys all got that. And you got days in there, 100 grand, 95 grand, 130 grand. Another on 223, another 206 grand. And you're going back and forth, right? It's sliding down 5%, 4%, 5%, 17%, then up 26%, down 10%, up 5%. So you're getting this huge kind of slide thing that's kind of happening over time, but staying within the range. It's staying in the 18. Well, let me rephrase that. In between the 18 to 24 range, 0.0018 to 0.0024. Now, right before this next run that you just started, it's down to a lowly $4,000 in volume on March 5th. March 5th, you're in between the range of 18 and 19. Following day, range of 17 and 19. Then the following day, you got even more of a drop, 15 to 19. And it's only like 15 grand, 9 grand, etc. Okay, so on March 8th, what happens? 25 grand rolls into the stock. Now you got a little pop-up from the 13 to 17, right? Kind of sideways action. The following day on the 9th, right, which is what, Friday, right? You get 14 grand and range of 13 to 18. Friday, what happens? Not Friday, but Monday. Monday being yesterday, news comes out, right? Puts out 217 grand, rolls into the stock, 106 million in volume, and you got the low of 14 and the pop to 27. All right. Today, you have this big day, huge cash flow rolls in, more volume, right, and another increase of 40%. So what you're seeing is the piece of the money that's flowing into this, these people are cycling this stock up, right, and slowly doing the slide off and then marching it back up on a money ball again. So I'm looking at like 3 or 4, maybe even possibly 5 driving days because of the amount of money power that's actually coming in this stock. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous that when you're sitting there and you're looking what you did. The difference between the first spike and this spike is this one was better with less volume. Now, how is that possible? It means there's a ton of people holding the damn float. That's what it means. Now, I don't know who's got that or where it is, but it shouldn't be able to make that move after that February launch that it actually had. I mean, it was at 0.005. 0.005 and screams up to 0.0084. You would expect huge amount of volume taking to actually happen. But the volume doesn't indicate certain pieces of that in between it. 30 million, 7 million, 30 million, 19 million, but nothing like the huge amount of moves that you're actually getting here, which is, just kind of absurd. All right, so Moneyball play, as I said before, back in the January 30th, 600 grand, 900 grand, 1.2 million, 800 grand. And what do you get today? 200 grand. And you're getting ready to start your spike up. I would expect huge amounts of money to be flowing into this stock, at least somewhat to mirror what the first leg was. So that would tell me what? After what did you have today? You're looking at 500 grand, somewhere around there. Where's your $1 million day that getting ready to happen again? If it happened before and, people clear, whoever's running the stock, pushing the stock, whatever the case may be, institutional, insiders, somebody's loading this up. And I don't think it's just stock traders, okay? I think there's big players involved with this that are associated with either the merging company or the company itself. The money isn't, this amount of money that's actually trending with this does not indicate your normal day trading flipper guys. too much volume, too much money to continue to go like that. Now, yes, it could be, different pieces, groups, and all that other stuff, but I just don't think that level, and this would be highly unusual if it was. All right, so I gave you the OTC markets. I gave you the power disc. Now let me jump back to VPER. Okay, I know that's what the company's all about, but the power disc piece is big, and I think that's just one leg of what these guys are doing. So let me go back. All right, so VPER Networks. You go to VPER Networks. All right, VPER Networks, that December 21st PR on 2011. All right, now this is big. All right, VPER Networks signed sales and marketing agreement with LEDs America Inc. Company is already selling eco-friendly, energy-efficient LED technology products. It's pleased to announce that the company has recently signed an all-inclusive sales and marketing agreement with LEDs America Inc., a privately held company headquartered in Jupiter, Florida. LED America has developed a breakthrough in creating an LCC LED cluster chip technology light source to replace incandescent bulbs, the replacement of which is soon becoming mandatory in countries worldwide, including the United States. Big deal. Stuart Scott talks all about this in the interview on Small Cap Voice. Big stuff, right? Current product includes replacements for the popular 60-watt light bulb, which are sold under the LEDs America brand name LEDO. The lumens output equivalent is to a 60-watt standard bulb is replaced by a 6-watt LEDO, which saves 90% of the energy using currently. Now, so what do you got here? You got the power disc linked up with the bulb. You're talking huge, ridiculous amounts of energy saving that these guys are trying to pull off here. Now, when you go back through and you're looking at the press releases that they're talking about, some of the things that they're saying is, I'm looking for the acquisition, I'm looking for partners, and I'm getting ready to, rake over from an acquisition standpoint by doing my proper due diligence and searching the companies that match them. Two pieces of this already been solved, is what it looks like. So the third and fourth has to be a bigger player that's coming in with some money to be able to mass produce and to go to these countries. When you talk about the exclusive use that they have in, I believe it's India, and there's another company that was actually associated with it, multiple. All right, hold on, give me 1 second. I'm jumping into About Us because you need to know this. It talks about the CEO and all that other stuff, which is all big because this guy definitely knows what he's doing. You go to the LED technology. I'm actually on VPERNetworks.com. Jump in there. Right. This is a lot of stuff to be moving around. Where they're talking about the current product line, the T8 tube replacement, the no ballast, retrofits an existing fixture, same LED tube for 120 to 277 volt, 15 watt, and then it has the 5 watt incandescent A19 60 watt replacement. Right. Right. I know it's light bulbs. I don't know how you make light bulbs sound sexy, but I know this. If they're raking in cash and they're pulling that in and they're making these arrangements that are happening, if they're able to do some of these things that they're talking and that they're alluding to in the press release when you sit there and you look at it, right, that they've already to be announced, they put the TBA in there, that one major North American company of some form is getting ready to happen with that, then they're getting ready to close some very, very big deals. I'm very curious to track this stock to find out who this merger piece is, if they already got agreements with people that are already making money, right? So what's the point of doing a merger if you already got the product, you already can make a profit off of it? The only reason you would do something like that is if you wanted to be the player on the corner. You wanted to take over the block, take over an area, or completely do first to sale or first to market penetration in a major country in some form, to where that's what you would be doing, which takes cash, which takes distribution, which takes certain networks. So that, to me, it looks like potentially there's some monopolistic system that's actually happening here, where I would believe, and this is just my speculation, is that some form, a company that has a huge distribution node or fingers in a pot of a distribution ability, quick to sale, already established certain things, but doesn't carry these lines of products, and because they have the inclusive sales rights, that's where I'm looking. I don't know what that is. I don't know how that is, but I know this. Whoever the background guys are on this play or this stock or this investment, whatever you want to call it, throwing millions of dollars onto a penny stock, has to ring a bell that you're sitting there, okay, what am I involved in? Okay, clearly there's something. I don't know all the dots, but I am all about following the money, and I'm looking at some big things from here, and I'd like to link up with Fareed and figure out what the hell he's doing. But I'm liking this play. But I kind of went over the chart a little bit. Do you have it, Sumo? Anybody?
I got a chart.
Sippy's got this one.
Hook me up there, Sippy.
All right. Good stuff, Top. Rocking that. Unbelievable how you can come up with all this stuff on the fly and read through that stuff. And the military, they got themselves one hell of a soldier. So this chart here, we're going to start with a weekly. All right, guys? And the reason why I'm going with the weekly is you have got yourself a beautiful setup going on here. And the first thing that catches my eye on a weekly is that 20 and that 50. And when you're looking at a weekly, you want to pay attention to those. I mean, you got to, always pay attention to that 200 and that 150. But that 20 and the 50 are going to be your first sign of where she's going to be going over a longer period, not 1 day, 1 hour, but over a long period. So if you go all the way back to 2004, when that 20 crossed through that 50, it was see you later. And you can see, just like a big board stock, when it broke through it, the shorters didn't come in, or the sellers didn't come in right away. They waited until it came back up and retested that 50. And when it couldn't break through it, now it's a resistance, and you can see it all the way down, all the way to 2009. It never could even get up back through that 50. It could barely even hold up through the 20. And then finally, in 2009, you had the 20 cross through the 50 again, and look at the run it had, all the way from 0008 all the way up to 037. So kaboom! And then you had your 20 cross through your 50 in March 2010, and again sliding down, never able to get up above it until as of late. Now you look, and you've got that 20, and it's kissing that 50. She's trying to make her break back up through it. So based on history, just on a 4-year chart, we're already 2 for 2 on the 20 crossing through the 50 and giving us a big bang for our buck. So I'm going to keep my eye on that. And while I'm looking at that area, I see that gap. And what did we do? We came down and we filled that gap there, guys. And boom, off to the races. You've got your 200 MA up above at 0065, and you've got your 150 at 0072. So you'd like to get all these things stacked on top of each other. Like Cobb said, look at the volume. 256 million this week already. You saw the week before that when she had her leg up, when she came off the bottom of that 004, trading close to $1 billion. Well, the week's early, guys. This is Tuesday, so keep an eye on that. As we come up the chart and we look at the money flow, there's a lot of other things here that on a longer term chart are just looking great. The CMF, it looks good. It's pointing, from left to right, heading north, so that looks good. But I like to see it get up into the positive grounds and get up and fill that spread between the 50 MA. Now your PPO, this is what I really like here. Same thing. You look back to, like I said, back there in 04, and you can see when the PPO crossed into the negatives and through the 50, she's been down below it the whole time. And when she finally crossed back up through the 50 MA, which I overlay on all of my indicators and oscillators, and then cross into the positive, that's when you got your big run in 08. Well, look at her again, guys. She has crossed through that 50 MA and is now crossing into the positive. So let's see if we can go 3 for 3 on there. As for your RSI, you have got one of the most classic tells, and what I always like to see a chart, when you got your price per share going down, but your RSI is going up. Positive divergence. It's above the 50. It's rocking at 63, heading into the power zone. It's above that 50 MA. It's looking solid. You come down to your accumulation distribution, this thing's pointing straight up. Like Cobb said, money's been coming in. The ultimate oscillator, it is all the way down to 40.25. That's all right. At least it's pointing up. It looks like we got a positive divergence with the low being in January. And it looks like it's trying to get back up. Now your slow stow, it's all the way down around 24. So that's showing some weakness right there. But what I like to see both on the ultimate oscillator and the slow stow is you can do a negative divergence where it's been coming down. So go ahead and drop your line on the top and look for it to break through that to the upside. I'm going to go ahead and come in on a week or on a daily on this too. I know we started on that But on the daily, you can really see that gap where it filled up. And same thing, it gives you a better idea, a little bit better shot of that PPO, like I was talking about, coming through that 50 and where that occurred and where it really gave you your power and gives you a buy signal. You can also track that 20 coming through that 50 on a little bit tighter look. And same with that Stowe, drop those lines on there. So this chart is looking solid. I definitely think she's got more in her, that's for sure. And like I said, keep your eye on those bullish indicators and those crossovers, and stick with the trend.
Good stuff, man. Good
And
stuff.
And also, you know, what's great about it is now that we're above that 20 and the 50, you've definitely got yourself some solid support. So you got a point of reference where you might want to put a stop in place, you know?
Yeah, no, that's good. That's. I mean, that's pretty much how I read it. Not as good as you, but that's. It's amazing. It's really, really amazing. The money flow, and it's still crushing it. It's just crushing it. Good stuff.
That was very well done. Very well done. Mr. Kopp, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
If I listen to you correctly, you're saying that as of right now, from the last run up to this one, it's taken a lot less dollar volume and overall volume to move the stock. Is that correct?
Correct.
Which
is unusual.
Well, which would tell us that the people that bought last month are still holding a lot of the shares that they had originally bought.
Right, and the part that, you know, when you trade these OTC stocks a lot, when it's normally backwards from that, because you expect on the very first run that there was a huge amount of dilution to happen, right? Clearly, so you would have more volume, less price, and those type of things to be able to do the move. And, you know, however, that's not the case. You know, I don't know if there's, you know, if anybody sold any shares or anything. I mean, I'm sure there's many shares sold. But when you're looking at, you know, the outstanding that was increased, it was restricted shares, right? I don't know where the rest of it is, but clearly somebody bought the living crap out of it and is keeping it. You know, I mean, that's the bottom line. Very odd. Very, very, very odd.
We got to see if we can't get the CEO on the radio.
Yeah, he did a good interview with Small Cap Voice. Those guys do pretty good.
Yep.
And I believe, if I remember correctly, I'm not sure who's the. I think Scott Gibson. This is one of his, right? I believe so. Let me see something. I'll have to double check that, but I believe it is. But you know, he's money in the bank. Absolutely. I mean, he only takes good companies and does his thing.
Right. If you missed any portion of tonight's Stock Spotlight, you will be able to listen to it in its entirety, approximately 9:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, on Investors Hub under Videos and in Market Commentary. That's if you missed any portion of tonight, or you just want to revisit it. You can see it there. Yeah.
Hey, just for your verification, it is Scott Gibson from Heritage First Capital. And you know, he's one of those guys that you can call him up, and you know, he'll give you know, he always stays on the up and up, but he was one of those guys that will take questions. His phone number is 407-444-5959. It's on the press releases. I would give him a call if you're having thoughts about it, and then do your due diligence as with anything else. But good stuff.
Okay, I have a caller. Shall we take the caller?
Sure, why not?
Hello.
Caller, you're on the air.
Hey guys, how you doing?
All right. Who's this?
My name is Mike. I wanted to find out what you guys think when it comes to as far as an investment goes with gold and silver.
With gold and silver right now?
No, as far
what are
as
you thinking there?
As far as tying it up some assets and purchasing gold and silver, I have, a couple problems I have with that is the major proponents for it who suggest it, like Mike Maloney and Peter Schiff and some of these other guys, they're the ones that are selling the gold. So, other commodities, I know people play and they say it's quite volatile, but if you guys believe in the actual currency crisis that they're trying to portray out to the public.
Well, I'm probably the this is Kopp, by the way, and I'm probably the worst people when it comes to believing currency wars and those type of things. First, let me tell you that we're definitely not financial advisors, so any opinion we give you is just ours and means jack crap, and unless somebody's listening, I guess. I'm normally a very bearish guy due to the fact that I firmly believe the markets are completely manipulated right now. And the main reason why I say that is when yes, the companies got leaner, yes, they saved the money and those type of things. However, because there's so much debt throughout all the different countries and where it all is, once governments start getting involved with companies like back in 2008, where we're buying pieces of GM, we're buying this, you've kind of changed the scope of what most people would believe the stock market to be. So the rules have changed, and that old saying, don't fight the Fed and go with the Fed. And I think the reality to it is they're going to do whatever they want to those levels of gold and silver. I mean, we had that big run up of silver last year when we had that 16 and the thing drove to 42, right? And then all over the place, you could have done analysis on the shorting, how much was actually out there. But me personally, I'm not a commodities buyer right now, only because I believe it to be a completely manipulated system. If you're going to manipulate me, I'd rather just be in the Wild West and in the OTC market. That's my take.
Well, I think it's obvious that it's manipulated, and even if back in the 1980 crisis, or when obviously what was going on there, with all the outstanding shares that J.P. Morgan had back then, that was at 79 or 80, and the gold to ratio or silver to gold ratio was far down. That's why they're saying even now it's being manipulated, or else silver would be around closer to 150, 140 an ounce if it had that solid ratio. But kind of where I'm looking at, and I try to say, I don't want to be one of those loons or conspiracy guys, but sometimes I hear these individuals talk and how no fiat currency obviously has ever survived. The U.S. dollar and the way it works and the fundamentals behind it is how can we get out of debt by just printing. I mean, I've asked anybody how we can pay down our deficit or the debt we currently owe, and there's no way out because the only way to pay for it is to borrow more that you have to pay interest on to the Fed for the Treasury Department.
I don't think the plan has a way out.
I got a quick one to kind of sum it all up here. Hey, how's it going, caller? This is Sifakia.
What's up, buddy?
Good, man. I love gold and silver, and I just wanted to say you're definitely right about the gold being tied with that dollar. I mean, you can tell that just by gold has doubled since our first quantitative easing back in late 2008. And but it's not a safe haven no more. It's a risk asset. Look how it moves. It trades with the commodities. It's tied to our dollar. They have tied it to our dollar, whether it be Goldman Sachs, J.P. Morgan, shorts, margin hikes, whatever they may do. I don't like the GLD. I don't like the SLV and else it's a trade. I do hold them in Roth account just because I think there's upside. But do I think that's a buy and hold till the day we die? No. Even if silver goes up to 150 now, are we safe in SLV, GLD? Maybe not. Look what happened to MF Global.
Well, let me say, I don't think you're safe in any ETF. Anything that you just have a piece of paper. What I'm talking about is purchasing it at, let's say you go out and buy silver, what is it, 33, 34. You physically hold it.
Check this out, man. Here's my I was almost finished there. I know sometimes it sounds like I'm done, but
sorry about that.
I'm rambling, but basically the way I look at it is I'd rather buy it in that SLV and that GLD and take my risk, because what is a chunk of gold or silver that weighs so much and I got to carry it around at the end of the world comes and my country's telling me to get in line and my currencies are devalued? Because you know what, if the Dixie goes to nothing and all these fiat currencies implode, we got bigger issues than how I'm going to buy something. You're going to have to worry about how you're going to protect yourself, in my mind. And I'm not a conspiracy theory either. So I'd rather have my capital able to buy and sell with the push of a button than being locked up in something tangible. If I want tangible, give me land, brother.
Right. Well, I guess I look at it where I don't think that if the currency fails, which honestly, in my honest opinion, it's inevitable. It's just a matter of time until it does. Now, that means, obviously, if they wipe the debt clean and say we're not going to pay anything and they're going to do away with all the entitlements that we owe to people, okay, the $17 trillion in outstanding unfunded entitlements, if they did that, let's say, it's just delaying the inevitable, of course, like any other fiat currency. It's a cycle. But I honestly think the benefit of having silver or gold physically in your safety box, in your home, whatever it may be, is because any currency that let's say any other country, even this country, may decide to restructure, may go back to a gold and silver type standard, which gives you tremendous value. And there's a huge, I think, wealth transformation where if you have an ETF and you're in, but you just have paper, if that goes under, just like in 2008 with Bear Stearns and a lot of these other financial institutions, it's just a piece of paper.
Yep. Yeah, so, I know. I hear you, man. I just, I got a lot of friends that bought and they couldn't sell when it was 50, and they sure wish they could have. You know what? I pushed my sell button. That's
I think just because I think people need to be easy at that. Even people that say, is it good to buy at 1,800 or 1,700 gold? I'm not saying one way or the other, to be honest with you, but I say be very careful with the shadow game that the government plays with people, because
I hear you, man.
It's a shell game, and just because it's taking more dollars, more currency to obtain that physical gold or silver doesn't mean necessarily it's costing more. Meaning it's just taking more dollars to get that, because let's not forget, since the U.S. dollar came into existence, it's depreciated 97%. That's how much it's gone down since, 1913, when it first came to existence.
I'll tell you what. You know what I suggest? I strongly suggest. I want you to go out. I want you to buy gold and silver for gifts for your ladies in your love life, and you'll get laid more often.
That's not investment advice. Yeah, that's technically investment advice. What is that?
Isn't platinum doing better anyway?
Let me talk. Yo.
Okay, yo.
If you want advice from a girl, you better be stocking up on platinum and white gold, and that'll get you everywhere in life. Just remember that.
My girlfriend said she doesn't want platinum anymore because gold is actually worth about $8 more an ounce than platinum, believe it or not.
That is true, but go with the white gold because it looks better.
It is. White gold is beautiful.
I know.
It is.
One of our former radio hosts, he goes out to swap shows and antique places, and he buys all the silver he can find.
Everything. Spoons. He likes spoons.
Oh, he used to come home and tell us, I got, what do you say? I got a whole set tonight. You guys won't believe it.
Yeah, and melted down himself all the time.
Oh,
well,
God.
caller, thanks for giving us a call. That's good stuff, man.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys.
You have a good night.
Thank you.
Take care. All right.
That is some good stuff, man. It makes you think. A lot of people, are I wouldn't say looking for the edge. I mean, I guess everyone's looking for the edge, but you want to be able to make sound investment decisions. And back in the day, you could rely on certain things to be a staple, if you will. And like Sifty said, they're volatile now. It's all volatile. Buy land.
Oh, yeah.
Buy land, guns and ammo, trade SOV, GOD. That's my opinion.
Nice.
Yeah, good stuff.
Very, very nice. Well, I was going to take a commercial break before the call, but that just stayed up another 10 minutes of the show. So instead of taking a commercial break, I'm just going to throw it over to Stock Sumo to close out the show with what was buzzing on iHub today. Sumo.
Sure. Let's check out what's buzzing over on the iHub today. First up, ticker symbol VPER. That's Viper. You guys did an awesome job doing the spotlight this evening. The daily range on the stock was 0018 to 005. It closed at 0041. That was up 78% on 150 million shares. And the volume, the 3-month average on that stock is 31 million. So significantly increased there today. GDSM is the next one that I noticed that was buzzing quite a bit there. That's Georgia David Sally Michael. It closed at 0077, and that was up 24% on the day. Its daily range was 006 to 0078, so it closed just a tad under the high day there, and that was on 17 million shares. The next one up is CYNX. That's Charlie Yankee Nancy X-Ray, and its daily range was 0012 to 0037, and it closed out the day up 107%. at 0027, and that was on 23.1 million in volume. And that 30-day average is only 2.3 million, so that's a 10 times increase there in volume. Nice move there. DKGR is the next one that's up, and we've noticed that they just got upgraded to pink sheet current status after having Cabot MTAR status, and you can notice that they've been getting caught up on a bunch of their filings and getting up to date, and that's how they got upgraded. So the stock made a little move today. Its daily range was 0057 to 0079. It closed at 0069, up 23.21% on 15.3 million in volume. And the average volume for its 3-month average is 9.3 million. KMAG is up next on the Buzz Cloud. That's KMAG, and its daily range was 0031 to 0045. It closed at 0044, and that's up 41.94% on 133 million shares in volume. That does have Cabot MTAR status, so beware there. SKGP is the next that was I noticed in the Buzz Cloud. That's Sally, Cassie, Georgia, Papa, and it closed at 9 cents. It was up 2 cents on the day. The daily range was 0618 to 11, which was up 26.67% on 280,000 shares in volume. And its average 30-day average volume is 51.6 thousand shares. The next one I wanted to talk about was, this is the last one. This is going to wrap it up. We spotted this one on the morning show because they had some news out for the second day in a row. Digital Caddies, that's CADY, that's Cat, Apple, Daddy, Yankee, CADY. It closed up on the day 4.65%, but the daily range was 30 to 53. This morning it was trading between 40 and 53 cents, and it had a big dip down to 30 cents before it closed out the day at 45 cents. It traded a whopping 415,000 shares, and its average volume is only 75,000 shares. So you notice a big pickup in volume today. It had a nice intraday gain. You could have possibly made an easy 40 to 50%. So it'll be interesting to see if the volume could continue to flow in that stock and it makes nice bounces like it had today.
Mm-hmm. Very well done. Thank you, Sumo. Very nicely done. All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Don't forget, tomorrow night we have an exclusive CEO interview with the CEO of TIVU, TIVU. Looking forward to that. Don't forget about the morning show. Stock Sumo, Sifakia, and Haas have absolutely been killing it. Congratulations to you guys. Newsflash, my back issue has caused me to take off the rest of the week. So guess what that means?
Oh, no.
Joining us on the morning show?
I will be hosting the morning shows.
Nice.
Unless I wake up and decide to not.
I called that.
Don't do yourself a favor and eat too many muscle relaxers or pain pills tonight, would you?
No, dude, come super wasted, would you, boss?
I'm super wasted. I'm a little uptight for you today.
Nope.
Is that what you're trying to say? Catch the morning show, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, TIVU, CEO interview. From all of us here, including Sifakia, Stock Sumo, QT Cal, and Mr. Cop, we're wishing everybody the best in all your trades, and may your portfolio always be green. This is Stock Traders Talk Radio, and we are out. Aloha. Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio. All views and topics talked about on Stock Traders Talk Radio is solely for entertainment purposes. We are not professional financial advisors and always recommend you seek the advice of a professional financial advisor. Never invest in any stock featured on our show unless you can afford to lose your entire investment. The information contained on our show is based on sources which we believe to be reliable, but is not guaranteed by us as being accurate, and might not be a complete statement or summary of the available data. Stock Traders Talk Radio advises that the investments in companies profiled are commonly considered to be high risk, and use of the information provided is at the investor's sole risk. Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio.